How's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. This one is entitled...
What is it titled?
It's The Dirt on Healthy
The Dirt
Food.
on Healthy Food, that's
The Dirt
it.
on Healthy Food. Now, basically, these days, in today's food climate, eating healthy is an act of rebellion. We see that as an act of rebellion, trying to eat as healthy as possible when you're confronted with all of the...
the things that are trying to make you ill, make you unhappy, affect your energy levels, like literally the amount of people who have got autoimmune diseases today or diabetes or obesity even, we're in a bit of a
health
crisis. Yeah, really. So trying to take more power back with where you get your food from.
And it's all about not eating ultra-processed foods.
Going back to nature, whole foods.
Like this damson tree, for an example, is a great source of antioxidants and healthy sugars. There is such a thing as healthy sugars, right? In moderation. Another act of rebellion is these fluffy little things. We can look, stick cam, chase that one around.
Yeah, I mean, eggs are like an amazing whole food source of protein.
Yeah.
You're not, if you're vegetarian, eggs are a great source of protein. If you eat meat, also, we eat quite a lot of eggs every day.
We eat 8 to 10 eggs for breakfast every day.
Yeah.
Between us, obviously, not each.
Heirloom seeds are quite important. We just found out recently there's some studies done on heirloom seeds versus the more hybridized seeds you buy in the supermarket crop. So like just an average carrot in the supermarket versus an heirloom carrot, up to 50% more nutrients. So check these out. These are heirloom purple potatoes. So we just bought these as like normal potatoes to eat and left them in the windowsill for like a month, maybe 2 months. And they've grown all these chits. So that's going to become now a plant when you put that in the ground, and then each one of these is going to produce hopefully like 10 potatoes each. So that's quite a lot. We've got these ones as well, the different type of heirlooms. These are organic. So we're going to plant these and see what happens, have our own potato crop. Might actually need a full spade for this.
Ground's a bit hard.
Yeah. I think I need more power. Gosh.
Do you need man help?
The thing is, when you're growing your own food, you burn so many calories that you can't wait for the food to grow.
How deep are you going?
What do you think, a spade's depth? Because you have to heap up potatoes, don't you? So.
Yeah, I think a spade's depth is probably more than enough.
Going to be enough for now, do you reckon? Because I think with these, as soon as you see the leaves, you have to heap up more soil.
Yeah, I think that's about right. As you can tell, we're not professional gardeners.
That's one potato, just 59 to go.
Good work, you. Let's get the time lapse on. What's she doing now? Nicole.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
I'm digging a hole.
Why?
For some flowers.
Oh, what, back from the dead flowers?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yep. Should we water the potatoes in?
Yeah, let's do it.
With this really fun, slightly leaky hose.
So we were going to talk a little bit about this patch of ground here, and just to say, this is not our patch of ground. We're sort of borrowing it a little bit, and for many, many years, going probably 30 years, it had a polytunnel on it, and it used to grow all sorts of things quite intensively.
And not very naturally, organically either.
Yeah, not very naturally. And my parents were going to basically take it back to lawn.
Taking a stick out.
Oh dear. Yeah, we're going to take it back to lawn, and we said, well, let's just see if we can rescue it, because that's way more fun. So what we did is our 5 ton of mushroom compost from when we were growing lots of blue oysters and that kind of thing, we chucked that on top, and the idea is we want to kind of do a no-dig approach to soil recovery. Yeah, because we need the worms.
Yeah, and it's also about the mushrooms, the mycelium. When you look into really healthy soil, you take a spade out and you should see all these like white fibres, and that's the like mycorrhizal connection between the different plants. So that's how like the plants communicate with each other, and that's like a really important network that gets disrupted with excessive digging or like modern agriculture with heavy machinery. It's not very good for like aerating the soil.
No. The other thing we were going to talk about was ergothioneine, right?
Yes.
So soils, because of the fungal component in soils, are supposed to have plenty of ergothioneine present from the fungus, from any fungi that are growing in the soil, which meant years ago that your potato crop and your leafy greens and anything you were growing would naturally have ergothioneine present. If you don't know what ergothioneine is, it's a very powerful antioxidant, and it's
found mostly in mushrooms.
Yeah, it's found mostly in mushrooms. Well, nowadays it's found mostly in mushrooms, but it would have been 100 years ago, it would have been much more prevalent in all types of garden variety stuff.
Because it was in the soil.
Pardon?
Because it was in the soil.
Yeah.
And now we use fungicides.
Yeah, so we use fungicides now in modern agriculture, and we've killed off most of the mycelial networks that are in most vegetable crops that you might find in the supermarket. So basically nothing, I think I can go as far as to say, nothing that you buy in the supermarket, even if it's organically grown, is going to be containing any significant ergothioneine. And ergothioneine is very, very important because your body has a transportation system just for ergothioneine, but it doesn't produce it itself, so it has to get it from food. Yeah, so I'm not saying that overnight we're going to magically be able to myco-remediate this ground, but isn't it interesting? We put this
Mushroom compost?
Yeah, we put the mushroom compost on about a week ago, and you've just seen me dig a load of holes. I was just talking about the whole no-dig thing, and then you watched me dig a load of holes and plant potatoes.
Still have to get the stuff in the ground.
I've got to get the potatoes in. Yeah, but
we disrupted as little of it as we could. We literally dug where we put the potato in, that was it.
Yeah, but everywhere we put a spade in, there's mycelium.
Yeah.
And I thought all of those bags of compost were basically just dead and spent. But if I just show you some down here, can you see those white specks? Well, that is all mycelium that's now in the soil. And I did not expect it to colonise that fast, but it has.
It's like it's coming back to life because it was stored in like builder's bags, so now it's like back in the soil, it's getting water, it's getting more sunlight. So I mean, hopefully, you don't know, maybe some mushrooms will start appearing here, or...
Well, I thought...
I hope it's just going to do good for the soil, at least.
I was thinking, because this is a potato bed, we're going to have to sort of row these up anyway for the potatoes, but in the gaps, I'm thinking about putting wood chip. And then if there is any mycelial activity, especially from, you know, types of mushroom that we want, like this lump of reishi down here, they may colonise the wood chip and we may get a crop of mushrooms, which would be absolutely amazing for basically a dead piece of ground that's just been abused for the last 20 odd, 30 years. Yeah,
be good to see it coming back to life a bit.
Yeah. Right, the watering is completed.
Yep.
So what were you saying just now?
So I was just saying about, obviously we've got this little patch that we're growing stuff on, but not everybody has that. So there are plenty of spaces where you can connect with maybe other people and grow stuff at like an allotment, or if you don't want to grow stuff, just get to your local farmers markets or Riverford, companies like that, because like 50% more nutrients in your food when it's been grown naturally and organically. To me, that's like a crazy number. It's not just like 5%, it's imperceptible. 50%.
If you think about it, it's a big deal, because if you're buying it not organic, you have to buy twice as much food for the same amount of nutritional value.
Yeah.
So you could actually save money by buying organic food. I know that sounds ridiculous, because the price of organic food at the moment is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then the price of all food has been climbing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, without sounding conspiratorial, it's an attack on the food supply. Just about space. So obviously we're lucky enough to have this little bit of space here. Again, we don't own this space, we're just sort of borrowing it. But we do have these things around here, which are very cool. This is like our little fun area.
So this is more the herbs and the flowers.
I'm just going to flick this round.
Yeah, so this has been growing we did most of this last year.
Yeah.
So we've got, like, these are last year's leeks. We got these for a few quid in the garden centre, and these are all in like tubs from old fruit trees. So
these are reclaimed tubs, aren't they?
Yeah, compost in there. We've got roses, lemon balm, like just a whole mix of, we've got gooseberries there, like fruits, herbs, flowers. So some of it's for the bees, some of it's for us to eat, some of it's just because we like it.
We've got some leeks that we just didn't even know were in there until they sort of popped up and got a little bit bigger. These are some trees that were gifted to us. If anybody wants to gift us trees, we're always open to receiving more.
And then
yeah, in terms of space, if you've only got a patio or even a little yard outside your house, this is our tomato crop, all in trugs. We pay, what did I pay for those plants? £1 each?
Yeah.
So 15 quid for 15 plants that are hopefully going to grow all the way up those poles.
And that amount of tomatoes for us, if they do well, that's
a couple of years worth.
Yeah, 6 months to a year's worth of tomatoes for us. And then all these herbs, most of these died off last year, and then basically leave them all winter, and then this is it, they just regrow, and it's like an infinite supply of fresh herbs.
We had a bit of a thing about mint last year, didn't we?
Yeah, so now we've got about 6 different types, at least.
But we were drinking a lot of mint tea, weren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Atlas Mountain mint, chocolate mint, spearmint, peppermint. Yeah, it's great.
What we were trying to do around here as well was have everything that's in these trugs be sort of vaguely medicinal in some way. And most of it is. If it's not medicinal, then it's highly nutritious.
Yeah, we cook with them, we use them in our vinegars that we make. Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, eat natural food, get outside, grow it yourself if you can. I feel like it's going to cost people more to not invest in this stuff now, because at some point you have to invest in, if you get ill from eating poor quality foods, like this is the seriousness of it. It sounds crazy to say it now, but I feel like we're already seeing the repercussions of eating poor quality food, grown in poor quality soil, and that people's health is going to suffer.
Well, we do farmers markets all the time. Every weekend we're at farmers markets in London and all over the place. You know, the vast majority of people are walking around ill, whether or not they know it, but a lot of people come to us because they're ill to get our mushroom products and that kind of thing. A lot of autoimmune diseases, you know, a lot of people with very poor gut health.
Then occasionally you see people who know about this stuff, and they know about eating organic food, and they know the value of different things like mushrooms and supplements and just taking care of their health, because if they don't, you pay for it later. That's the long and short of it, really, is some people get lucky and you can eat junk food and not get ill, but most people are not going to be that lucky.
What we need is a grassroots community get-together where everybody turns even a little bit of their garden over to growing vegetables. You don't have to grow 12 different types of vegetables. You might be the tomato guy, you know, or the mushroom lady, and you just club together with your neighbours. I know that's a weird thing to say in 2025 when nobody knows their neighbours, but I think you'll find most people will be receptive and nice people.
Yeah, we need to get back to that kind of thing as well.
It's worth a knock on the door and say, shall we grow some food? Right, so recap. Today's episode was The dirt on healthy food. Now, do you think we've delivered the dirt?
I think we've, made a dent in it. There's a lot to go into, isn't there? And you can get into like more specific areas, but if you're new to this subject and you're thinking, why should I bother with paying more money for my food? I think this is a good introduction to why that's important.
Well, I need to back this up with hard fact, but we watched a video from the Off-Grid family yesterday, day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And they are saying that scientific studies have revealed 90% of non-organic soft fruits are covered in PFAS. PFAS? Forever chemicals. As in, you eat them and they never leave your body.
Yeah, unless
90%.
you do some serious detoxing. But, you know...
Well, forever is forever, right?
Quite an innocent thing to eat. Like, you know, you buy some strawberries and that's it. Your body's full of chemicals forever.
Well, this goes back to the old Dirty Dozen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dirty Dozen are things like non-organic apples, grapes, strawberries, blueberries.
Yeah.
Those kind of soft fruits. When they're not organic, you have to spray them with so much stuff to stop them being eaten by bugs or attacked by fungi or whatever, and they're just chemical nasties.
Yeah.
So that is essentially why we're trying to grow as much food as we can in just a small way.
Even just to practice until one day maybe we do have a bigger space to grow stuff, but it's a start, and I think that's important. It's a conversation that needs to be had as well with more people, because it's like we need a food revolution, you know, with what's going on in the UK at the minute with farms just from all sorts of angles, with all sorts of things like the farm tax and all these incentives to turn farms into solar farms or rewilding schemes. Where's the food going to come from? We need more organic, local, high quality food. It's
an attack on the food supply, but what that means in real terms is it's an attack on your health. This is what's really affected. When you take these little farms out of business, well, you're not going to get your organic potatoes. You're not going to get, chemical-free food. So the only food available to you is going to be this mass-produced rubbish.
Or it's going to be imported, or it's going to be even more processed, because if farms don't produce food, where do you think the food's going to come from? It's going to be factories, or it's going to be imported, and that's even more food miles. It's even going to be less nutritious. It's not good news. So
this is why we're saying that doing this kind of thing is an act of revolution.
And rebellion.
Yeah.
That's it. Get on it. Eat organic.
That's the dirt, isn't it?
And we don't eat 100% organic, right? We try our best. I mean, it is expensive, so we try and grow some of our own things. We try and get stuff from local farms, local producers. It takes time and it takes effort.
The thing is, I've been saying, no more compromises.
Yeah.
I'm not interested anymore. Now if
you found out about the soft fruits.
When you find out just how toxic things are, you go, I'll just go without. If I can't find it without the toxicity, I'll just not have it then.
Yeah, you just have to swap it out for something else. I mean, I do find it difficult to put myself in the shoes of somebody who hears this information and then goes, oh, well, like it doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't have your health,
you've got nothing.
How can you then live your life fully? You know, we do take our health for granted, like the amount of things our bodies can do, like the amount of exercise we do and what we put ourselves through on a daily basis is a lot. So it's something we shouldn't take for granted, and we should really prioritise.
I was in Morrison's today just to kill 10 minutes while I was doing something else. And just for funsy, I had a look at all the fruit. There was no organic fruit at all.
Wow.
None. There was one packet of organic peppers. That was all the organic fruit and vegetables in a whole supermarket.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy when a supermarket starts to just look like a factory, and the real food section, within that section, there's only one thing organic. I mean, what is that place then? It's like, not somewhere to buy food.
I walked in there with nothing and I left with nothing. There was nothing I could buy in that whole supermarket.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but people got to eat. They're still going to make money because, you know, people need to buy food, but you also have a choice in every moment. And I think it's when you get caught off guard and you're not thinking, and you go, I'll just grab that. It's like, it's these quick, grabbable, ultra-processed things that are the worst.
Yeah.
You know, well, we found it when we go into a service station, we're travelling, And you think, oh, I'm just hungry, oh, I'm just thirsty, I'll just grab this thing.
pure-
Can't be that bad.
pure
And then you
poison.
bought it and you read the thing and you're like, oh my God, why did I do this? And then you don't eat it anyway.
No, just throw it away.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough rambling for one episode. Thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye.